Here's Brody Brazil.
I'm obviously somebody who's all in on the future of sports broadcasting, and I largely think it's going the direction of one complete package, probably streaming involved. You can watch a game on your device, your tablet, your computer, wherever you want to watch it, and it's just one login, one place to watch everything. And that's kind of what I thought MLS was doing when they signed up for Apple TV a handful of years ago. I thought this streaming option was great. Now it seems like they want to evolve and kind of get to a streaming 2.0 option. A lot of people within MLS say that this Apple deal for them is not working out, which again is kind of to my surprise, but I also understand some of the complaints and growing pains that they're going through here. Let me just recap the deal here between MLS and Apple TV. This is about to be year and season number 3 of a reported 5-year deal. I wasn't exactly sure how long it lasted, but I saw multiple reports that said it's a 5-year deal. At least that's when the first opt-out is, either for Apple or MLS in this deal, which would take us through the 2027 season. It's $14.99 a month or $99 per year. You get all the matches. You also get all the shoulder programming, pre and post game and weekly shows and recap shows. And by the way, I should stop right here and say, I really respect what they're doing at Apple TV from a production value and covering these matches. They're not cutting any corners. They are 1,000% doing this the right way. Nobody's here to critique the production or the value of their productions. They are doing it top notch, kind of like what they do with those Friday night games in Major League Baseball. Really respect like the direction of the production that they're going here. Because again, this is an area where you could cut corners, you could cut cost. They're not doing that. In fact, they're doing the opposite. They're making this a high production value event. So you kind of get your money's worth for $99 a year. And you can watch on all devices. You can watch on the web, even if you're not an Apple person. I know if you're an Android person, well, they have an app for that. They have the Apple TV app. So you're not like roadblocked any one direction. This is accessible to everybody. But we'll get to more on that in just a second. It may not be what everybody is seeking out if it's not right in front of them. They are now offering Sunday night games, which are in front of the paywall. So you actually can watch Apple TV productions on Sunday night. You can watch those matches now for free because they're realizing maybe too many matches and too many games were behind the paywall people couldn't see. As of last year, and I think going into this year too, about 30 matches nationally broadcast on Fox and FS1. So some of it is still on old school traditional television and mediums. But again, most of it, all of it, but most of it is now on Apple TV behind the paywall. And that brings the criticism here from a handful of MLS general managers, the respective teams, who all wanted to remain anonymous, but did give these quotes to The Athletic. And I will link to that article down below so you can check it out in full. Here's an anonymous GM who said, quote, the league, they have to end the deal with Apple. It's bad for the fans. Now, again, when I told you before that they're doing a good job on the broadcast, it's not the actual broadcast, and it's not the announcers or the production crew or anything bad about the broadcast. It's the place that it's in and the platform that it's on, and kind of a lack of exposure, not with hardcore MLS fans, but the casual soccer fan who just can't tune in or is not shelling out money to watch soccer. They just want to flip past the channel and find it, and it's not there, and so they're not watching it. Here's another anonymous general manager to The Athletic. Quote, I think we have to be on more linear outlets. We have to be on ABC, NBC, Fox more regularly because I think a lot more people watched our games when we were in that space. I think Apple and the whole streaming thing is really innovative, and it's probably where things will be going. But I don't think that MLS is the leader of that. I don't think enough has been put behind the subscription model. You're a different league when you're a subscription-based league. I don't think the effort has been put in like it should be. And I think that the main part that I wanted to take away there, this person realizes the direction of where things are, where they're going, and ultimately what the future is. But this person says MLS is like not the right experiment or not the right ingredient in this experiment. Like in where streaming is going, MLS maybe shouldn't be the trendsetter. MLS shouldn't be on the cutting edge because they're not the one that's fully grown out to be able to do that. So I think that's a pretty deep thought, but I also respect where that's coming from. That person realizing that, yeah, streaming is the way it's going and one package is the way it's going, but maybe MLS actually shouldn't be at the forefront of that for their own reasonings. Here's another anonymous general manager. Quote, the reason why people don't watch MLS now is simple as you can watch anything all over the world. You can watch American football, soccer. The amount of hours to dedicate a weekend to watching something, you can choose one of hundreds of things to watch. If you want basketball, no offense to MLS, but are you going to turn on the Serbian League? You're not. You're going to watch the best product. And the overall point there, if you're not kind of reading between the lines and, this person beating around the bush a little bit, it's saying that MLS is not the top level of soccer in the world. And because you can watch all the different leagues, Premier League, the Italian League, the German League, like you can watch all those leagues anywhere, anytime in the world, that they compete with MLS. And because of that, you can't make MLS difficult to watch. So they're always going to struggle as opposed to the other leagues and other products out there. So here are my takeaways. And number one, I think, it's obvious here that MLS is jumping into this package first, but we'll never be able to doubt that football, and I mean college and the NFL, as well as NBA, as well as Major League Baseball, as well as NHL, all of those leagues and products and broadcast platforms, they are far more established than MLS broadcasts. And that's not a knock, and that's not to say that it will always be that way. MLS is going and growing at a tremendous rate, and that's great. But right here, right now, there still are a major four. And I know people could throw NASCAR in there too, some other, leagues and sports. But those are the big four. And quite honestly, these are probably the big four that should be trying this out first. They're more sustainable behind a paywall. And that's the thing here. Soccer fans, like if you have an MLS team or you just love MLS as a league, you're probably going to pay $14.99 a month or the $99 for a year, and you can find this package, and it's going to be great, and you're going to love it, and that's all well. But what about the casual soccer fan? Like I mentioned, I think the whole point of this video is that once you jump behind the paywall, you don't get the lurker. You don't get the person who's literally doing this, clicking and saying, oh, you know what, I will watch this. And because I watched this and enjoy this, maybe I will go out now to a match and watch my local MLS team. So it's not about the hardcore fan. This deal very much caters to the hardcore MLS fan. This deal maybe, though, doesn't reach the casual fan, and you have to figure that out. So I think that's the end point of this. All of this is a good example and experiment. It's not to say that MLS should ditch the deal. I know that was the headline of this video, and it's probably going to be the title of this video, is the streaming package bad for MLS fans? But maybe it just needs a little bit of modification, right? Is there a way to do this so you put enough in front of the paywall, but you put some of it behind the paywall so you can have a sustainable product, you can have a great broadcast, you can do all the bells and whistles, but you also make it so, hey, anybody who is interested in soccer, like we want to go fishing and also hook them and bring them in the mix with us. So I don't think the answer here is to ditch this entirely. It's to make modifications. We're all figuring this out. We're all figuring out the next stage of broadcasting and streaming 2.0 for Major League Soccer as well as other professional sports. So evolve. Get to streaming 2.0. Just because the first iteration of this maybe wasn't popular, make changes. Don't ditch it entirely. I think that's the best route to go. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. Do you watch MLS Season Pass? What do you think about other leagues going in this direction? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Also, while you're down there, thumbs up on this video. That helps me, this video, and this channel. And one last request, and you know what? I'll do it like this. Make sure you subscribe. It's always this way. Make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. No, not this one on your screen, the one down below. So you can definitely come back and see me here next time. I would appreciate that. Make sure you subscribe. See you next time.